Hey, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. My name is Douik and this YouTube channel is all about photography, filmmaking and visual effects. It's been a month now since the last time I uploaded a video, and that is because I was working on this Anime VS Reality Shortfilm, which I posted on my channel a few days ago. I hope you like it. So now I'm gonna walk you through how I created this short film, but this isn't going to be a tutorial, it is more of a breakdown, because if I'm gonna show you how I created it in details, it's gonna take a very long time. So if you really wanna learn how I did it, just tell me in the comments below and I will make a course and teach you every detail step by step. So I guess just leave me a comment below.
Now, first of all, let's start by shooting the videos.
I'm recording with my Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Most of the scenes were shot on a gimbal, Zoom Smooth 4 to be specific, but there are some scenes that needed to be static, so we used a tripod. I will leave you some affiliate links down in the description. So we shot the necessary scenes, then I started recording some extra shots for the background, the sky, the ground, because we may need it later. Then I shot a video by running back and forth for the shots of me and the ball flying in the air. After recording the outside scenes, we went inside and shot the green screen shots, which are the shots of the ball spinning and the shots of me flying mid-air. And that's it. Now let's move to the compositing, which took longer than expected. So first of all, we're gonna start with the green screen shots. Here you can see this is the shot of the ball spinning. Now I'm going to add first of all, I'm gonna change the color of my green screen because it's a bit dark, so here it is. Then I'm going to use a key light effect to get rid of that green screen, and then boom, it got keyed out. But as you can see, the ball's color changed to some orangey color, so I'm going to add another change to color effect to get back this yellowy color. Now just create a mask around the ball to get rid of anything outside that mask, and you're good to go. The next green screen shot is this shot of me flying in the air. Same steps, I changed the green screen color, then added the key light effect, and as you can see, I created a mask around the subject. I will make it visible, and that's it. Everything looks good now. So now let's jump to the first scene. Okay guys, so this is the first scene. As you can see, my friend Kadmi is holding the ball, but the ball isn't spinning too fast. That's why I added this green screen ball to make the spinning faster, as you can see. Okay, next I added this energy around his hands, then more energy on top of the ball, and I also added this blurriness, as you can see. And also I added these glowing eyes effects and lights around his eyes. Then I added these neck and arm veins and tracked them using Mocha Pro. By the way, you can find a tutorial on my channel on how to use Mocha Pro and properly track your mesh. Then I added some lights and glow. Now after adding all the effects to the subject, I'm going to add the overall effects, which are these storm effects on top of the actor, and these dust waves, and finally these wind effects or these anime speed lines. By the way, I'm going to make a tutorial and teach you how to create these speed lines, as you can see. And that's all for the first scene. Here's how it looks. Okay, for the second scene, it's almost the same thing, the same effects. I'm going to add them. First of all, it's the ball, then the energy around the hands and around the ball, then these blurriness, arm veins and neck veins, then the glowing eyes effect and lights around the eyes, and finally the storm. Oh, I forgot the lights. The lights, digital lights, I hate it, but I have to do that because that was the mistake. I did not add lights when I'm shooting, so I had to make digital lights. Okay, so then add these some particles and storm, and finally the speed lines, anime speed lines. Moving to the third scene, and as you can see, he isn't holding the ball in his hands, which make it difficult for me to add it because his hands were shaking and moving closer and to each other, so it was challenging, but I created it, but it doesn't look so realistic. But with all the effects on top of it, it's not that obvious. I will show you. This is the ball. Of course, I rotoscoped his finger to make it look like it's on top of the ball, but it still doesn't look that realistic, you know, because he isn't holding anything and it's difficult to make it real. Then I added all the remaining effects, same as the first and second scene, same effects. The arm veins, the energy, the dust waves, storm, and these speed lines on top. So that's it for the third scene. Okay, now this is the fourth scene. As you can see, the camera is getting closer to me and I'm receiving that power and that wind and so on, and that storm coming from that ball spinning, you know. So I'm going to add the effects. Right, let's start first of all, as always, the storm and dust effects. Then as you move closer, you see the veins are moving under my skin, then getting to my face, right into my eyes. Then as the veins reaches my eyes, I added these glowing eyes effects. As you can see, they start to scale up. To move forward a bit. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, these glow around the eyes. And I think more dust and more storm effects, some particles. And that's it for the fourth scene. Okay, so in this fifth scene, you can see both of us charging. He is charging the ball to throw it, and I'm charging to catch it, you know. So I will add the same effects for both of us. Let's start. Let me first add the ball. Oh, in this scene, he's also not holding anything in his hands, but it's much better because he's far away from the camera, you know. So it looks good. Also, with all the energy and the effects on top of the ball, you can tell that he's not holding it. Okay, then add the energy effects, the arm veins. Then, oh, the ground breaking effects. Oh, that power, the ground must break, you know. So I added these ground breaking effects, which look realistic. They are tracked to the ground. Then I added the eyes effects, I think. Yep, I don't know. Yes, these eyes effects, the glowing eyes effect for him, a bit of blurriness around the ball. Now I'm going to add my effects, which oh, I also added some glowing to the ground, some yellow lights right there coming from all that energy, and yeah, more lights. Now I'm going to add my effects. Okay, so these eye particles for me, and then I added these energy effects for the hands and for the legs also. Then I added these lights. Okay, then add these small particles, the storm effects. Yeah, I like that storm effect. It's so amazing. So here is how the scene 5 looks. Okay, scene 7 now. I skipped scene 6 because it doesn't need any effects. Okay, oh, the scene 7 is almost the same as the previous scene, scene 5, but At first there is nothing, then as he moves his leg and touches the ground, the effect starts to appear from nowhere. So let me add the effects quickly. Tick, 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 I for an eye. Right. Add everything so fast. Do you want to add them all together? Yep. Scene 8. What is this? Scene 8. No, I don't remember. I forgot the scenes. Yeah, this scene 8 is the scene where he's gonna throw the ball. So I'm going to add the same effects. First of all, the ball spinning. It looks perfect. The rotor brush tool is perfect. It looks so perfect. Next, add these energy effects as always. Oh, I don't forget the ground because the ground is broken under his legs. Of course, the arm veins. Also add the energy around the ball, the overall lights, then the glowing eyes effect. What is this? What did you get there? Get back to your place, please. Get back there. Sorry guys, it's in place now. Alright, what else? Oh, the main effects, which are the storm, dust waves, particles, and the anime speed lines effect. Alright, so this is scene 8. Now let's move to the next scene. Okay, so scene 9, I like scene 9. Scene 9 is the shot of me running back and forth with some motion blur added to it, with this CC force motion blur effect, and also motion blur enabled on the comp and on the layer as well. Then I added this ball. By the way, this is another 3D ball that I created for the sake of this moving shot, because the ball that I shot on the green screen wasn't moving so fast, and so I created another 3D ball, which is this one, and with Video Copilot's Element 3D I made it rotate in all directions, as you can see, like this. And then I added these energy effects, flames, and storm waves, particles, dust waves, and so on, to make it look like this. Okay, moving to the next scene, which is the scene of me trying to catch the ball but failing and gets thrown in the air. Alright. Okay, so first of all, there was no throw. I added it all in post, so let me add it to show you the subject. Okay, so I'm actually in there. So alright, so when this one is here, I will get rid of this scene and add another one, which is the background. By the way, in this scene I didn't take a clean plate. I always tell you to take a clean plate, but I forgot to take a clean plate, so I had to remove myself from the background using Photoshop. As you can see, it's still visible right here. But it's not a problem, because it's going to be for just a few seconds. Okay, so first of all I added the ball, then I roto brushed my hand to make it look like the ball is inside my hands. Then added some shadows, and now moving to the energy. Okay, so these are the energy effects, also the glowing eyes, one eye actually, Then I added these energy effects for the ball as well, and some lights, and then add the remaining effects, which are particles, the storm, the dust wave, and the anime speed lines, to finally make it look like this. The next scene is the scene of me flying in the air. As you can see, here I added this CC force motion blur and also this pixel motion blur effect to make it look like it's running in the air, to give it the feeling of that speed and motion, you know. So add pixel motion blur and CC force motion blur effect, then add the subject, which is me, and the ball, of course, hitting my stomach. It still hurts. Alright, then add this energy on top of the ball, particles, dust waves. I don't need to add the storm. Then add the anime speed lines effect. The speed lines are so important for this scene. You know, I added them twice, this wind effect, so to help sell the effect of flying, you know. Here is how it looks. Alright, the next scene is the same as the previous one, but from behind. So just add the subject and the remaining effects to make it look like this. Okay, so the next scene is the hit. So add the subject, which is me flying, and the ball, of course. Okay, so as I touch the wall, I will add, actually I'm always in there. Okay, so as I touch the wall, I will add these cracks and shockwave. Then I will rotoscope the subject to make it on top of the effects, and that's it. Okay, so this is the next scene, and here I'm going to add these stomach wounds, and I will also add these blood splats on the shirt, and there is also some blood dripping on the floor, and of course, most importantly, the ball. Then I added some smoke, and of course don't forget the wall cracks and the shock wave. Then the subject on top, blood splats on my leg also. Then I think it's done. Okay, so now scene 19, where Mkadmi is holding the ball, and then as he closes his hand, the ball gets blown off, you know. And how I did this was, first of all, I added another 3D ball. Okay, so this is the second ball. I will remove the effects. Okay, so this is the second ball, and now what I did is that I added two effects. First of all is CC pixel poly effect, and the second effect is the simple choker effect to make it smoother. And there you go. And finally, the last scene. Alright, so the last scene doesn't require any visual effects, just this green screen eye blinking mask, and I think some blurriness. Ground cracks back there. Oh, you see these details. It's all about details, you know. Okay, so blurriness and the blinking eyes effect, and we're done. Okay, so I hope you guys like today's breakdown, and as I told you in the beginning, if you really want to learn how I created it step by step, just tell me in the comments below and I will make a course and teach you everything in details. Now I will leave you with this short film, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, if it's thinkable, it's doable.
何